stop for a moment. Take a breath, because if you found this message on January 22nd, it isn't accidental. There is a reason your attention was pulled here, and it has less to do with curiosity and more to do with timing. Right now, you are standing at a quiet crossroads in your life. Even if everything on the surface looks familiar, you may not be in chaos. You may not be in crisis. But something inside you knows the old way of moving no longer fits, and the next step hasn't fully revealed itself yet. That tension you feel isn't confusion. It's alignment forming. Welcome to Celestial Insight. Today's message is titled, Your Soul's Next Step, revealed by Tarot on January 22nd. And before we go anywhere near the cards, we need to talk about why this date matters. January 22nd carries a stabilizing yet confrontational energy. It's a moment where the universe asks a very specific question. Will you choose comfort, or will you choose coherence with your soul? Not speed, not perfection. Coherence. That's the test. Many of you watching are feeling strangely suspended. You've done the work. You've reflected. You've released what you could. Yet the external movement you expected hasn't arrived. Plans feel delayed. Conversations feel unfinished. Motivation comes in waves rather than streams. And if you're honest, part of you wonders whether you missed a sign or made a wrong decision somewhere along the way. Let me reassure you calmly and clearly. You did not miss anything. You are not late. You are being positioned. Early 2026 is not about dramatic leaps. It's about precision. And January 22nd acts like a hinge point, a subtle recalibration where the universe checks whether your internal compass is aligned before opening the next door. This is why you may feel pulled inward lately. Why distractions feel louder but less satisfying. Why certain people, habits, or ambitions suddenly feel heavy rather than exciting. Your soul is pruning, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. Here is a universal truth many people resist. Feeling stuck does not mean you are blocked. Often it means movement would be premature. Right now, the universe is not asking you to push forward. It's asking you to notice what you're standing on, because the next step your soul is preparing to take cannot be built on unstable ground. It requires honesty. It requires restraint. And it requires you to stop negotiating with versions of yourself that no longer belong to this season of your life. You may be at a point where the old goals still make sense logically, but they no longer energize you emotionally. Or perhaps you're being called towards something new that doesn't yet have language, structure, or validation. That can feel unsettling, especially if you're someone who values clarity and control. But understand this, the universe does not reveal the full map when the lesson is trust. It reveals only the next step, and that is exactly what we are here to uncover. This reading is not about prediction. It's about orientation. Tarot, when used consciously, doesn't tell you what will happen. It shows you what is already in motion beneath the surface. It reveals the energetic truth you're currently living inside of, whether you've named it or not. And on January 22nd, that truth is especially accessible because the collective energy supports reflection without distortion. Many of you are quietly asking, what am I supposed to do next? But the deeper question your soul is asking is, Who am I becoming now that the old version of me has done its job? That's a very different inquiry. One seeks instruction, the other seeks alignment. And alignment is where power lives. If you've been feeling emotionally neutral rather than happy or sad, that's important. If you've been noticing synchronicities but not knowing what to do with them, that matters. If you've been craving solitude while also wanting reassurance, you're exactly where you need to be. This phase isn't about action. It's about restraint. The universe is watching how you respond, not how fast you move. January 22nd also carries a karmic undertone. Not punishment, not reward, resolution. Old cycles are closing quietly. Some of you are completing lessons around self-trust. Others are finishing patterns related to overgiving, over-explaining, or overextending yourselves to be understood. You are not meant to carry everything forward. Discernment is part of your soul's evolution now. And here's something important to hear. Your next step will feel smaller than you expect, but more significant than you realize. It won't announce itself loudly. It won't come with applause or instant confirmation. It will feel calm, grounded, almost obvious once you see it. That's how you'll know it's real. The soul doesn't shout. It resonates. As we move forward in this reading, we will use a specialized tarot spread designed to act as a compass, not a command. We'll look at the past lesson you've already integrated, the current manifestation shaping your reality, the universal message influencing your path, the actionable insight your soul is ready for, and the future potential that opens once alignment is chosen. This is not about fate. It's about choice made with clarity. Before we draw the cards, I want you to set one quiet intention. Not a question, an openness. Simply allow yourself to be shown what you're ready to see, not what you're hoping to hear. The universe responds to sincerity faster than desire. If you've stayed with me this far, that tells me something. You're not here for surface-level reassurance. You're here for truth that steadies you. And that's exactly what this moment offers. What's being tested now is your willingness to pause without panicking. What should be avoided is forcing decisions from fear. What is quietly aligning is a version of you that moves with intention rather than urgency. This moment will make sense later. And as we move into the foundation of universal truth shaping this reading, allow yourself to stay present. Your soul already knows the way forward. We're simply removing the noise so you can hear it clearly. Before a single card is turned, we need to understand the larger field you're moving through right now. Because tarot does not operate in isolation. It responds to timing, structure, and the invisible architecture of the universe itself. And January 22nd is not just another date on the calendar. It sits at a threshold where personal intention meets collective momentum. When you understand the universal truths active at this moment, the messages that follow stop feeling abstract and start feeling precise. The first truth shaping this phase is divine timing. This is not a passive concept, even though many people misunderstand it that way. Divine timing is not about waiting endlessly or surrendering responsibility. It's about alignment between readiness and opportunity. Right now, the universe is less concerned with what you want to initiate and more focused on whether your internal state can sustain what you're asking for. That's why things may feel slower than you expected. Not because you're being delayed, but because you're being refined. Many of you have reached a point where effort alone no longer produces results. You've noticed that pushing harder doesn't move things forward the way it used to. That's intentional. The universe shifts its rules as we evolve. Earlier phases reward action. Later phases reward awareness. On January 22nd, the energetic emphasis is on conscious participation. You are being asked to move with the current, not against it. The second universal truth influencing this moment is karmic completion. Karma is not about punishment. It's about balance. It's the natural conclusion of patterns once their lesson has been fully integrated. Some of you are closing cycles that began years ago, even if the external circumstances look different now. Relationships, roles, identities, and ambitions that once defined you may feel strangely neutral. Not painful, just finished. That emotional neutrality is a sign of resolution. You may notice that old triggers don't activate you the same way, or that situations that once demanded a reaction now pass through you without much resistance. This isn't apathy. It's maturity. The universe is observing whether you recognize that you no longer need to prove anything in these areas. What should be avoided now is revisiting old battles out of habit. The lesson has already been learned. Re-engaging would only delay momentum. Another foundational truth active right now is the power of conscious creation. This is often oversimplified into positive thinking, but the real mechanism is subtler. Conscious creation begins with clarity of identity. Not what you want, but who you are choosing to be as you move forward. On January 22nd, the universe responds less to verbal affirmations and more to embodied decisions. What you tolerate, what you decline, what you choose not to chase anymore. These signals speak louder than intention alone. Many of you are realizing that clarity doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from listening differently. You're learning to recognize when something drains you versus when something steadies you. This is crucial because the next step your soul is preparing for will require consistency, not intensity. And consistency can only exist when your energy is protected. There is also a collective truth influencing humanity right now, and it directly affects your personal reading. We are in a period where illusions are dissolving quietly, not through shock, but through fatigue. People are no longer energized by roles that require performance over presence. Systems based on overextension are losing momentum, and individually, this shows up as a deep craving for authenticity, even if it means simplifying your life. If you felt called to slow down, restructure, or redefine success recently, you are aligned with this larger shift. This is not regression, it's recalibration. The universe is teaching discernment. What truly matters now is not how much you can do, but how aligned you feel while doing it. Here's a prophetic insight for this phase. The universe is watching how you handle uncertainty. Not whether you avoid it, but whether you trust yourself within it. This phase isn't about action. It's about restraint. The universe is observing your response, not your speed. When you stop trying to force clarity, clarity begins to surface naturally. Another universal truth shaping this moment is energetic honesty. January 22nd carries an energy that exposes misalignment gently but firmly. If something in your life requires constant justification, explanation, or self-betrayal, it will begin to feel heavier now. Not to punish you, but to prompt recognition. Your soul is no longer willing to negotiate with environments that require you to shrink. At the same time, what is quietly aligning is support that matches your current frequency. This may not arrive as dramatic help. It may show up as a conversation, an insight, a subtle redirection, or even a delay that protects you from stepping into something prematurely. Trust what stabilizes you. That is your compass. As we prepare to move into the tarot spread itself, it's important to understand that the cards will not introduce new information into your life. They will confirm what your intuition has already been whispering. Tarot works best when the listener is honest with themselves. And right now, honesty looks like admitting that you are no longer who you were when certain goals were set. This is a liminal space, not an ending, not yet a beginning, but a moment of conscious choice. The universe has created a pause so you can choose with clarity instead of momentum. That is a gift, even if it doesn't always feel like one. In the next chapter, we'll introduce the soul's next step, tarot, spread and explain why each position matters at this precise point in time. This is where the abstract becomes practical. This is where cosmic truth translates into personal direction. Stay with this moment. Don't rush ahead mentally. Your next step is forming because you are ready to see it. Now that you understand the universal currents surrounding January 22nd, we can turn toward the tool that will help translate these energies into something personal, grounded, and actionable. Tarot, when approached with respect and clarity, functions like a compass. It does not dictate your destination. It orients you toward true north. And today, we're using a spread designed specifically for moments like this, when the soul is ready to move, but the mind wants certainty first. This is called the soul's next step spread. It exists for one purpose, to help you understand where you are in your evolution and what single, aligned movement will open the next phase of your life. Not 10 steps. Not a grand overhaul. One coherent step that shifts everything quietly but decisively. As I describe each position, allow yourself to notice what resonates without forcing interpretation. The cards do not speak to everyone in the same way. They mirror what you are prepared to recognize. And if something lands immediately, that's your intuition responding before logic has time to interfere. The first position in this spread is past lessons. This card represents a lesson you have already integrated, even if you don't consciously give yourself credit for it. This is not about what hurt you. It's about what changed you. On January 22nd, this position is especially important because many people underestimate how much they've already completed. You may still carry the memory of struggle, but the lesson itself has been absorbed. The universe wants you to stop acting as if you're still in training for something you've already mastered. If you've been doubting your readiness, this position reminds you that your foundation is stronger than you think. What should be avoided now is returning to old behaviors out of insecurity. You are not who you were when the lesson began. You are who you became because of it. The second position is current manifestation. This card reflects how the lesson is expressing itself in your life right now. Not dramatically, practically. It shows up in your habits, your reactions, and the way you engage with uncertainty. This position often reveals why things feel the way they do at present, why certain doors feel closed, why others feel irrelevant, why your energy shifts when certain topics arise. Many of you are in a phase where your outer life hasn't caught up to your inner growth yet. That can create frustration, but understand this. Manifestation always lags behind integration. The universe adjusts reality only after identity stabilizes. This card helps you recognize what is already changing, even if it's subtle. The third position is universal message. This is where collective energy intersects with your personal path. It represents what the universe is emphasizing right now, regardless of individual preference. This message often challenges assumptions. It may ask you to release control, adjust expectations, or trust a process that doesn't make sense yet. On January 22nd, this position carries particular weight because the collective is being guided toward discernment rather than acceleration. This is where prophetic insight often emerges. The universe may be saying, not yet, or not like that, or only if you're willing to let go of how it used to work. This is not denial. It's refinement. What is quietly aligning here is a path that requires less force and more presence. The fourth position is actionable insight. This is the heart of the spread. It answers the question your soul has been asking, what do I do now? But the answer may not look like traditional action. Sometimes the most powerful movement is a decision, a boundary, or a pause. This position does not demand urgency. It demands integrity. For many of you, the actionable insight will involve choosing differently rather than doing more, saying no where you once said yes, waiting where you once rushed, trusting yourself where you once sought validation. This phase isn't about proving your worth. It's about honoring it. The final position is future potential. This card does not predict a fixed outcome. It reveals what becomes possible once alignment is chosen. It shows the energetic opening that occurs when you take the indicated step. This potential remains dormant until the action is embodied. That's why tarot never removes free will. It highlights consequence, not fate. What's important to understand is that this future potential is not distant. It's near. But proximity does not guarantee arrival. It requires coherence between intention and behavior. The universe responds when your choices match your truth. As we move into the live collective reading in the next chapter, remember this: tarot does not replace intuition. It amplifies it. The cards will reflect themes many of you are already sensing, but perhaps haven't trusted fully yet. Allow the messages to meet you where you are, not where you think you should be. This is not about perfection. It's about presence. The universe is not asking for certainty. It's asking for sincerity. In the next chapter, we will draw the cards and interpret them together, revealing the collective path emerging at this moment. Stay open. Stay grounded. The message is closer than you think. Now we arrive at the moment many of you have been waiting for, but I want you to notice something before we begin. There is no rush in this space. Tarot reveals most clearly when the mind softens and the body feels safe. So as we step into this collective reading, allow yourself to listen without trying to predict the outcome. What is meant for you will resonate without effort. This reading is tuned to the collective energy present on January 22. That means it speaks to shared themes, not identical circumstances. You may not relate to every detail, but if one message lands with clarity, that is the one your soul needs right now. Trust that. We begin with the past lessons position. The card that emerges here reflects a period of endurance. Many of you have spent years developing resilience, patience, and emotional intelligence, often through situations that required you to hold yourself together when external support was inconsistent. This was not accidental. You were being taught self-trust, not the kind that declares confidence loudly, but the kind that remains steady under pressure. The lesson here has already been learned, even if part of you still identifies with the struggle. You know how to survive uncertainty. You know how to adapt. What the universe is asking now is that you stop using those skills defensively. They are no longer meant to protect you. They are meant to support expansion. Avoid shrinking back into hyper-independence. You don't need to carry everything alone anymore. Moving into the current manifestation position, the energy shifts. This card reflects a pause, not stagnation, but recalibration. Many of you are in a holding pattern where forward movement feels delayed, yet inner awareness is sharpening. You may feel more observant than active, more reflective than expressive. This is not a setback. This is integration. Right now, life may feel quieter externally, but louder internally. Thoughts are clarifying. Priorities are rearranging themselves. You may notice that certain desires have faded, while others have grown stronger without explanation. This is your subconscious aligning with your next chapter. Trust the quiet. The universe often works in stillness before it works in motion. Now we move to the universal message position, and this is where the collective energy speaks most clearly. The message here is about discernment. The universe is emphasizing quality over quantity, alignment over approval, sustainability over speed. You are being reminded that not every opportunity is meant for you, even if you are capable of handling it. This is a powerful moment of spiritual maturity. The test is subtle. Will you choose what feels right or what looks right? What should be avoided now is making decisions based on fear of missing out or external pressure. What is quietly aligning is a path that honors your energy rather than depleting it. As we turn to the actionable insight position, the guidance becomes very clear and very grounded. The next step for many of you is not a dramatic change. It is a decision to stop overextending, to stop explaining yourself to people who are not listening, to stop chasing clarity through constant effort. Your soul is asking for one thing: coherence. Let your actions match your values. Let your schedule reflect your priorities. Let your boundaries protect your peace. This is where alignment becomes tangible. This phase isn't about action. It's about restraint. The universe is watching how you respond, not how fast you move. Finally, we arrive at the future potential position. The energy here is stabilizing and promising. Once alignment is chosen, there is a sense of grounded progress. Not overnight transformation, but steady momentum. This potential speaks of confidence that doesn't need validation, movement that doesn't require force, and growth that feels sustainable. You are not being led toward chaos or upheaval. You are being guided toward structure that supports your evolution. This future opens when you trust the process you're already in rather than trying to escape it. As a collective, this reading tells a clear story. You have already done the hard part. The next step is not about becoming someone new. It's about allowing yourself to live as who you already are. That requires courage of a different kind. The courage to slow down, to say no, to choose alignment over urgency. Take a moment to notice what stood out to you. That is not random. Your intuition responded because it recognized truth. In the next chapter, we'll focus on integration and action, translating these insights into practical guidance you can apply immediately. Stay present. Stay grounded. The universe is not asking you to leap. It's asking you to stand firmly where you are and choose with intention. This is where many readings lose their power, but we will not let that happen here. Insight without integration becomes entertainment, and your soul did not come here for entertainment. It came here for alignment. So now we take what has been revealed and ground it into something real, something lived, something chosen. January 22nd marks a moment where awareness must turn into embodiment. Not urgency, not pressure, embodiment. The universe is not asking you to change your entire life in one motion. It is asking you to choose one truth and live it consistently. That is how transformation actually happens. Let's begin by naming what is being tested right now. You are being tested on self-trust. Not the loud kind that announces certainty, but the quiet kind that doesn't need constant reassurance. You are being asked to trust what feels steady over what feels exciting. This may be challenging if you're used to movement equaling progress. In this phase, stillness is progress when it is intentional. Many of you are learning that clarity does not arrive before action. It arrives through aligned action. That means you won't feel completely ready when you take your next step. You will feel grounded, calm, neutral. And that is how you know you're aligned. Anxiety belongs to misalignment, not growth. What should be avoided now is impulsive decision-making fueled by discomfort. When things feel uncertain, there is a temptation to do something, anything, just to feel in control again. Resist that urge. The universe is watching how you respond to uncertainty. If you rush, you repeat old patterns. If you pause, you access new ones. Here is a practical way to integrate what we've uncovered. Over the next few days, pay attention to where your energy leaks. Notice what drains you disproportionately. Conversations that leave you exhausted. Obligations that feel heavy before they even begin. These are not small details. They are signals. Your soul is asking you to renegotiate how you participate in your own life. Integration also requires honesty about what no longer aligns. You may feel a quiet resistance toward commitments you once made enthusiastically. That doesn't make you unreliable. It means you've evolved. Growth often requires renegotiation. The universe supports endings that create space for coherence. Another key action step is simplification. January 22 supports reducing complexity rather than adding to it. Fewer goals, clearer priorities, stronger boundaries. This is not about doing less forever. It's about doing less long enough to hear yourself think again. Clarity thrives in simplicity. You may also feel called to revisit your relationship with time. Notice where you rush unnecessarily. Notice where you procrastinate out of fear. Both are signals of misalignment. When you're aligned, time feels neutral. You move when it's time to move. You rest when it's time to rest. No justification required. There is also an emotional integration happening now. Many of you are releasing guilt around choosing yourselves. You're realizing that self-abandonment was never noble. It was survival. And survival is no longer your primary mode. Alignment is. The universe is not asking you to sacrifice yourself for growth. It's asking you to include yourself in every decision. What is quietly aligning during this phase is support that feels mutual rather than transactional. Relationships that don't require performance. Opportunities that don't demand overextension. Ideas that feel expansive without feeling overwhelming. These are signs you're on the right path. Here's a prophetic truth to anchor into. The next phase of your life will not require you to become stronger. It will require you to become more honest. Honest about your limits. Honest about your desires. Honest about what you're no longer willing to carry. This honesty is not harsh. It is liberating. If you're feeling emotional as you listen, let that be. Release is part of integration. You are shedding identities that were built for past seasons. That can feel tender, even when it's right. Be gentle with yourself here. As we prepare to move into the final chapters, remember this. Your soul's next step is not something you have to search for. It's something you have to allow. The universe is already responding to who you are becoming, not who you used to be. In the next chapter, we'll explore the deeper energetic shifts unfolding beyond January 22nd and how this choice reverberates forward. This is where the long view comes into focus. Stay with this energy. Don't rush ahead mentally. The clarity you're seeking is already forming. What you choose now does not end with you. That may sound heavy, but it is not meant to be. It is meant to be empowering. Every aligned decision creates a ripple, not just through your future, but through the energetic field you inhabit. January 22nd is one of those moments where a seemingly small internal choice begins to quietly reorganize your life over time. The universe works in patterns, not events. And what is happening now is a shift in pattern. Many of you are stepping out of reaction and into intention. That single shift changes everything. When you stop reacting to circumstances and start responding from alignment, the universe meets you differently. Doors open without force. Delays turn into redirection. Resistance fades. Here is what this choice sets in motion. First, it stabilizes your nervous system. This may sound subtle, but it is foundational. When you choose coherence over urgency, your body relaxes. Decisions feel less charged. You stop living in anticipation of the next problem. This internal stability becomes the platform for sustainable growth. Without it, even success feels exhausting. Second, it recalibrates your relationships. People respond differently when you stop over-explaining and start standing calmly in your truth. Some connections will deepen. Others may drift. This is not loss. It is alignment. Relationships that require you to abandon yourself cannot follow you into the next phase. What should be avoided now is clinging to connections out of fear of change. Trust what unfolds naturally. Third, this choice alters how opportunities find you. When you are aligned, you no longer chase possibilities. You recognize them. There is a difference. Aligned opportunities feel grounded. They do not require you to betray your nandi values or compress your life into unsustainable rhythms. They meet you where you are, not where you pretend to be. Many of you will notice that within weeks of choosing differently, life begins to respond in small but unmistakable ways. A conversation that clarifies something you've been holding. An idea that feels doable instead of overwhelming. A sense of relief where there used to be tension. These are confirmations, not coincidences. This ripple effect also touches your sense of identity. You begin to trust yourself more, not because everything works out perfectly, but because you see that you can navigate uncertainty without abandoning yourself. Confidence grows quietly here, not from external validation, but from lived experience. There is also a karmic aspect to this ripple. By choosing alignment now, you close loops that no longer need repeating. Patterns of overgiving, self-doubt, or delayed self-trust lose their grip. The universe responds by no longer presenting the same lessons in different disguises. This frees energy for creation rather than correction. Here is an important prophetic insight. The next challenges you face will not be tests of endurance. They will be tests of discernment. You will not be asked to push harder. You will be asked to choose more carefully. This is growth at a higher octave. What is quietly aligning now is a future that feels less dramatic, but more fulfilling. Less performative, more authentic. The universe is not preparing you for chaos. It is preparing you for stewardship of your own energy. That is a powerful position to hold. As January 22nd settles into the days that follow, resist the urge to measure progress immediately. Alignment often feels anticlimactic at first. There is no fireworks display, just a sense of things being in the right place. Trust that. Momentum is building beneath the surface. In the final chapter, we will close this reading with grounding, clarity, and a call to conscious participation. This is where the message integrates fully, and where you are invited to choose how you move forward from here. Stay present. The universe is closer than you think. We arrive now at the closing gate of this message, and it's important to understand what that means. A closing gate is not an ending. It's a moment of consolidation, a pause where awareness settles into the body and becomes something you can carry forward. January 22 functions exactly like this. The universe has spoken quietly, not to impress you, but to orient you. At this point, your soul already knows what the next step is. It may not have a name yet. It may not be fully formed, but it feels real. It feels calm, and it feels honest. That is how you recognize truth, not through intensity, but through resonance. Let's bring this home by naming what matters most right now. You are not being asked to chase your purpose. You are being asked to live in alignment with it. Purpose is not something you discover once and complete. It is something you choose again and again through the way you treat your time, your energy, and yourself. The universe is observing something very specific now. Whether you will honor what you know without needing permission, whether you will trust what feels right even if it doesn't come with external validation, whether you will move forward without dragging old identities behind you for comfort. This is not a phase of proving. It is a phase of embodying. The difference is subtle but profound. Proving seeks confirmation. Embodying creates it. If fear arises after this message, that is normal. Fear often appears when old patterns realize they are no longer in control. Let it pass through without engaging it. Fear does not mean you are wrong. It means you're standing at the edge of something new with awareness intact. Here's what should be avoided moving forward: overanalysis, self-doubt disguised as logic, and returning to habits simply because they are familiar. Familiarity is not alignment. Comfort is not truth. You are capable of choosing differently now, not because you are stronger, but because you are clearer. What is quietly aligning as you move beyond? January 22nd is a life that feels internally consistent. Your actions make sense to your nervous system. Your goals reflect your values. Your pace supports your well-being. This is not a downgrade. This is an upgrade of a different kind. The universe does not need you to rush. It needs you to respond with integrity. One aligned decision creates the momentum that 10 forced ones never could. And you are already capable of making that decision. Before we close, I want to speak directly to the part of you that is still waiting for certainty. Certainty is not coming, and that is not a flaw in the process. It is the design. Growth at this level requires trust before evidence. The evidence comes later, once the choice has been lived. So here is your invitation, not a demand, not a prediction, an invitation. Choose one way you will honor yourself this week. One boundary, one pause, one honest decision. Let that be enough. Watch how the universe responds. If this message resonated, if it named something you've been feeling but couldn't quite articulate, stay connected to this space. Subscribe to Celestial Insight. This is where we return to clarity, timing, and grounded truth again and again. Share this with someone who may be standing at a similar crossroads. Sometimes alignment spreads through recognition. And remember this as you move forward, especially when the path feels quiet and unremarkable. This moment will make sense later,